Hey guys, so today I wanted to tell a story time about the time I was almost involved in a drive-by shooting. To give a background on what I was talking about, I took driving school junior year of high school. It was in the summer. I was going into senior year. And I just remember, I'm not going to give details because if I do, people are going to know exactly what place I'm talking about. But I'm just going to say this, the ghettoest driving school I've ever seen in my entire life. I have so many stories I can tell of this driving school experience, but this is the craziest thing that happened to me while I was there. To get straight to the story, it happened on a Friday night. Remember, this was my last class ever at that driving school, so I was super excited because I'm like, finally I'm done with this crazy place. Like, I just need to pass and I'm done. So on the last day of driving school, they basically test you, and if you pass, you're done, and now you just have to go to the actual driving place to like take your test. I just remember my mom dropped me off. Like, she never went in with me, she always dropped me off, and I went in like normal. But this particular day, there was no driving, there was no classes going on while I was driving. So normally when I go to drive, there's somebody actually teaching a class, and they teach like, you know, they make you watch videos about driving and you have to like take notes and things like that. And normally that's going on while I'm signing up and about to leave to drive. But this day in particular, there was nobody there but me and my driving instructor and the lady that was working at the front desk. It wasn't a front desk, but it was like a separate room where she was in. And I just remember that was the first thing that was kind of weird to me, because normally when I'm there, there's a bunch of other people there too. But this day in particular was just an empty classroom with two people, me including, and my driving instructor, so three people. And it was so weird to begin with. So normally when you drive with another student, but this day the person that was supposed to be driving with me never showed up, so it was just me. And I automatically felt kind of uncomfortable because I'm like, this just is weird. Like, I'm sitting and nobody's in here, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? My mom probably already left. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But sure enough, my driving instructor comes in and I give her my, permit and like everything like normal. And she walks out again to go do something really quick. And this is when it started to take a turn for the worse. So as I'm sitting down, waiting for her to come back, the lady that's in the office was making phone calls. This was around the time, to give a little background, this was around the time when gas was running out. Like, the gas stations were running out of gas, and people were going crazy and like buying a lot of gas to the point where like they were running out of gas. So because this was happening, they only had like one more car that had like half of a tank of gas left, so they had to call and cancel driving scheduled appointments that were made for the next day, Saturday, because they didn't have gas. So she was making these calls and like canceling, telling people that they had to reschedule until like they had to reschedule because they had to wait until they could get more gas into their cars. And I heard that going on, but then it just started to sound weird because I started to hear like her yelling, and even though it was in another room, I could still kind of hear what was going on. I just heard yelling, and it sounded like the person on the other side was really upset. And it goes from that to like in the next couple of seconds, I just hear crying, like the lady's crying, and I'm like, what is going on in there? Like, I'm thinking something bad or tragic happened in her personal life, like, I don't know. But all of a sudden I heard the lady on the other phone, because she opened her door to the office because I think she was trying to call somebody. I didn't know what was happening, but she opened the door so now I could hear like fully. And I hear the lady on the phone like cursing her out. She's just going off on her like crazy. And all of a sudden I hear, I'm gonna bring my husband up there and we're gonna shoot the place up. I didn't need to hear anything else. That's all I heard, and I start freaking out. Like, literally when this happened, my heart was just like, and I'm like, I need to get out of here. Like, fight or flight instincts, I run. Like, I just need to get out of here because I don't know what's about to happen. I'm like super terrified now. My heart drops, and I'm not even thinking about driving anymore. I'm just ready to go home. And so when I hear her threatening her, basically saying like they're right around the corner, they're about to pull up, and she's gonna bring her husband to shoot the place since because of whatever happened. The driving instructor finally comes back in and she hears what's going on. She sees the girl crying, and like she's just like, what's going on? So at this point I'm trying to leave. Like, I don't even care anymore about anything. I'm just trying to go. I'm not trying to be involved in a shootout. This is ridiculous. And as I'm about to leave, my driving instructor is like, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. Like, I just make something up. And she's like, okay, yeah, we're still gonna drive. So I'm like, are you out of your mind? Somebody just threatened to shoot up the place and you're saying we're still gonna drive? I don't care about that anymore. I'm leaving. So I go to the bathroom because I'm not trying to, you know, ruin my chances of like, you know, I didn't know if she could do something to me if I left and didn't tell them. So I call my mom in the bathroom and I'm telling her what's going on, and my mom's just super confused, like, what? And so she just says, okay, I'm coming up there. And so she hangs up. Keep in mind, this whole time I'm super scared because I'm like, who's telling how far they are? They could be in here at any moment, and you're telling me I have to wait in there and there's no other people in there but us. So if they start shooting, I'm gonna get shot. Like, I'm so scared. And so I go back in there and I sit down, and the lady's like super crying, like she's like terrified, and she's making me more scared because I'm like, if she's crying then it has to be legit. Like, this is terrifying. And the lady is still like just like trying to calm her down, and she's like, yeah, we're still gonna drive. And so they call security. Right now, this mall, like I said, is a very ghetto mall where I live, and nobody really shops there. The only reason people really go to that mall is for their driving school. And so they call the security guard up there, right? I thought it was going to be an actual police officer, so I start to feel a little bit more calm because I'm like, okay, if somebody comes up and shoots, they're going to get arrested, right? Wrong. This security guard was not a police officer, it was a security guard. And the security guard, I'm going to give you a description. It was a male, obviously, and he had a polo shirt on and some jeans with a walkie-talkie. I'm like, is this the man that's supposed to protect us? Because I could protect myself. Matter of fact, I can stand in front of him. Like, this man literally didn't have a taser on him. He didn't have a gun on him. He didn't have anything. And he was just as scared as we were. When we told him what happened, he literally was like, really? Like, he was so scared. I'm like, how is this man supposed to protect us? And they're not going to call police officers for this type of issue. So we're screwed. My mom finally gets up there and she's so confused, and she's like, is everything okay? They tell her what happened, and long story short, the lady's like, we're gonna leave now, but we're still gonna let her drive, so we're just gonna all walk out together, and the security guard is gonna walk out with us to the car. I was so scared. I don't know how much more I can express that. The whole time I'm just like thinking I'm gonna get shot at any moment because I don't know what's going on. So we finally walk, and it's like a long walk to the car because we have to walk down the escalator, turn, like walk past all these different places, and then we're outside, and then we have to walk across the street to get to the car. So this whole time I'm like looking over my shoulders, like, is there somebody that looks crazy, like they're ready to kill somebody? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm super scared, like so scared. And then we finally get to the car, right? And the lady leaves. The lady that was threatened, she leaves because she was so scared. And they locked the place up. And I just remember, as soon as I got in the freaking car, guys, as soon as I got in the car, I see this car drive by, and they're like circling, like they're looking for somebody. And I look in the car, and I see a lady in the driving seat, and then the guy in the passenger seat, and I promise you guys, I saw a gun. And I'm like, my heart literally drops even further if it could have, because it was already dropped. It dropped even further. Like, I'm about to die, because I thought that they knew, like, so I'm like, they're gonna know what cars are there. But the lady just told me to drive off. So I'm driving off and I take the test. Long story short, I end up passing. So I was happy about that. And I feel like she passed me regardless because of all the stuff that I had to go through traumatically that day. But long story short, the people that threatened to shoot up the place actually showed up to the place. But nothing happened because they couldn't find us because we left. And long story short, I'm pretty sure those people could no longer, like, they got banned from the place because they were threatening people and saying they were going to shoot people up. It was ridiculous, it was crazy, and I really feared for my life that day. So that is a story about, it's a super quick story, but it happened so fast, but it felt so slow. But that's the story about how I was almost involved in a drive-by shooting. These people were not playing. They were really going to shoot the place up, and I know it because I saw them with my own eyes, but they didn't see me, thank God. So I hope you guys like that story. I can tell so many more stories about that driving school because it was a lot. I have a story about the guy, the first time I ever showed up there, and how the guy made me cry because he was so mean to me. So if you guys want to know more of those stories, let me know in the comments below, and I will definitely do a video about that. And that's pretty much it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.